This case contains the world's most badass Fender Stratocaster. And no, it's not Eric Clapton's, because let's be honest here, nobody can endure his craptacular version of I Shot the Sheriff without wanting to gouge your eyeballs out with a freaking fork. And no, it's not Stevie Ray Vaughan's either. Stevie is awesome, but think even more badass. Yngwie Malmsteen? Nah, I don't have the 85 Marshall stacks needed to get his sound, and I'm pretty sure my neighbors across the city would call the cops if I tried. This Strat is more badass, more awesome, and just plain more metal than all of those pretenders. Let me show you what makes this Strat the ultimate weapon. This is the guitar dreams are made of. This is the world's most badass Strat because this is a replica of Glenn Tipton's Strat. This is the guitar that did Green Manalishi. This is the guitar that did Love Bites. This is the guitar I wanted when I was 14 years old. Let me explain to you guys why this guitar is a total beast. First off, it's black. It's not standard issue rock guitar black. No, this is pure metal black. The kind of that would blot out the sun if we had an amplifier big enough. And this mirror pick guard, it's loud, it's bold, and Glenn's been using it to blind Priest fans to death since the early 80s, even for those of us stuck way back in the cheap seats. Now, these DiMarzio Super Distortion pickups, let's not get carried away here. They're not magical, they're not summoning demons, and they will not solve world hunger. They're just a little bit louder than your average humbucker. That's all there is to it. But when you're playing into low gain plexis and JCM 800s like Glenwood, that little bit of extra juice can make all the difference. But the real star of this guitar, and what truly makes this Glenn Tipton Strat, is the Kahler tremolo. Now this isn't just any bridge, it's the defining feature. While Floyd Rose might be popular shredders everywhere, the Kahler is in a league of its own. Now while you can dive bomb and bend just like a Floyd, this allows you to hammer on the strings as hard as you want like a freaking lunatic, and it will still stay in tune. It's built for players who actually hit their strings like they freaking mean it. And yeah, Scott Ian from Anthrax tried to emulate Glenn with a similar setup, but then he went and slapped a Floyd Rose on it, completely missing the point. A Glenn Tipton Strat needs a Kahler. What Scott has is not the real thing. This guitar isn't about frills and gimmicks, it's about raw power, precision, and pure metal fury. It just doesn't honor Glenn Tipton, it embodies everything that makes him legendary. And now, we're giving you the chance to own it. Autographed by the band no less, because we're auctioning off this guitar to raise money for Parkinson's research. When I was a teenager, I was kind of obsessed with Judas Priest to the point that it drove everybody who was in a 12-mile radius around me completely insane. I played their music constantly, and the one thing I watched constantly was the 82 Live Vengeance tape. I think I watched that pretty much every single day after high school for months on end, and I'm sure my parents really appreciated it. But I gotta say, I absolutely loved that performance, and one thing that always stuck in my mind is when they played the track Metal Gods, and Glenn would pull out his black mirrored Strat, much like this one, and just let it rip. This guitar is kind of the stuff my teenage dreams were made of. I just can't honestly believe I'm playing it. It is so freaking cool. I gotta say, it plays brilliantly. Now, with apologies to Glenn, sorry dude, most of the solos you wrote that I learned throughout my teenage years, high school and college and all that, I kind of forgot because I really got concentrating on music production over the last couple of decades, but I will say this guitar does play absolutely brilliant. Yeah, that's super cool. I really envy the person who gets this guitar. Yeah, you're gonna love the hell out of this thing. Glenn Tipton publicly announced his Parkinson's diagnosis on February 12, 2018, though he'd been living with the condition for a decade. When the disease made it hard to perform certain songs, he stepped back from touring, but Glenn didn't disappear. He's still very much a part of Judas Priest, making occasional appearances and contributing to their music. Meanwhile, our good friend Andy Sneap stepped in to fill Glenn's shoes. Though, let's be honest, it did look a bit weird at first since nobody bothered to tell him that this band has a dress code. Now, what is Parkinson's? It's a progressive neurological disorder that affects movement, causing symptoms like tremors, stiffness, and balance issues. Early signs can be subtle, things like small handwriting changes, reduced sense of smell, or a slight hand tremor. Recognizing these signs early is crucial for managing the disease. Famous figures like Glenn Tipton, Ozzy Osbourne, and Michael J. Fox have helped bring awareness to Parkinson's. But it's not just about celebrities. It's a disease that impacts everyday people, our families, our friends, and our loved ones. It ripples outward, touching everyone close to those diagnosed. Globally, over 10 million people are living with Parkinson's. In the US alone, nearly 90,000 new cases are diagnosed each year. And with an aging population, those numbers will only rise. And that's why awareness, research, and support are so critical. Now, when Kaylor asked if I'd like to get involved with their build of a Glenn Tipton Strat, my answer was, oh, hell yes! And they asked, how much do you want? And I'm like, you gotta be freaking kidding. No thanks, I'm happy to just be asked. And they replied, great, we can put that money into the guitar. And seriously, how can I say no to that? Judas Priest is the reason I even picked up a guitar to begin with. When I was 14, I heard Electric Eye for the first time, and it made my hair stand on end. The power of that intro, combined with Glenn Tipton and KK Downing's playing and Rob Halford's incredible vocal performance, felt like a Wagner opera on steroids. It was the moment that lit the fire and set me on a 40-year journey, from guitar playing to music production, and then finally YouTube. And I am beyond honored that I was asked to help the band out, even in a very small way. I'll knock it off. I'm just having way too much fun playing this thing. This guitar is just so freaking cool. I also got to mention, just the signal chain I'm using right now. I'm going through the Lewis signature amp. I got a video coming out on that real soon. It's basically a super hot rodded 50-watt Marshall JCM 800. That's going through my vintage Celestion Blackbacks. That's going through 257s being blended on the board on the Neve. And then I'm going through one of the world's most god level reverb delay units. It's just fucking incredible. Yeah, that thing is positively sick. I'm gonna have a video coming out that in February as well. Stay tuned for that. Now, please do me a favor. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. That way you're gonna get notified when the auction for this guitar starts. If you're a Priest fan, you're definitely not gonna wanna miss it. I want to give a huge thanks to everybody who made this possible. Judas Priest, Jane Andrews, Fender Guitars, DiMarzio Pickups, and especially Kaylor. Glenn's been a Kaylor player for as long as I can remember, and now I know why. He called his Strat fierce, and after playing it, I couldn't agree more. This thing stays in tune like nothing I've ever encountered. Floyd Rose is in the studio? No, thank you. They're unstable, especially with very aggressive players. But this Kaylor, you can thrash it, shred it, and hammer it, and it stays rock solid. I only wish I'd discovered it 20 years ago. It would have saved me countless hours of studio headaches. Now, a special thanks go to Eddie Kern at Kaylor if you're building this incredible guitar. He is a luthier with some seriously badass skills. Now, I'm gonna be doing a shootout video very soon, Kaylor versus Floyd Rose, so I can show you why this trem system has the edge. Now, here's the best part of this video. This guitar is gonna be auctioned off to support the Glenn Tipton Parkinson's Foundation. All proceeds are gonna go to Parkinson's research. The pickguard's gonna be autographed by the band, but this guitar is what's up for grabs. So if you're a Judas Priest fan, or you know one, this is your chance to own a piece of heavy metal history. And hey, maybe somebody can tell Scott Ian while we're at it.